I like to start with your preparation for the role because you and Mary Bronstein are both mothers, and I know that that was a huge part in the preparation, the discussions, and I want to know how did that shape your collaboration?
We were so lucky in that we had this gift of rehearsal, just her and I. We met for like 5 or 6 weeks and were sat at her kitchen table 3 days a week, just talking and going through the script page by page, line by line. And we shared stories. We were very candid. We would talk about one thing and veer off, and we just had this time to figure it out. And of course, you don't want to see an actor's homework, that's boring, but you want it to feel lived in. And look, I can't anticipate a performance until I'm there. It's entirely being present and being in the moment, and reacting is reacting. But this for me, this precious time Mary and I had together was so. Without that, I would have felt very, very untethered because we shot the film in 25 days. You know, it was very quick,
Wow.
and the character is the film, and the film is the character. And I've never done anything like that before. So.
Yeah, taking from that, the film has physical spaces that really immerse us in her chaos. And how did you work with these environments, especially because we don't have the husband for most of the film, and the child
Mm.
is often off screen?
Mm. Well, Delaney Quinn was this lovely young actress who plays Linda's daughter, and that was very tip. I mean, we would play the scenes together. She's her being there entirely informed of what Linda does, so it felt very like a typical scene. But then seeing the film back, and obviously I knew we weren't going to see her, the profound effect of that, of taking that away from the audience and how it affects the experience of watching the movie. Um, but doing I know it was very effortless. It wasn't like, oh, watch Delaney or be careful. It was very seamless. Not once did we even talk about it. It felt like they had figured that out so specifically. Christopher Messina and Mary Bronstein. Christopher is our cinematographer. That when we were on set, it just never even disrupted what we were doing. Yeah.
Yeah, and when Christian Slater came out, how was the rapport between the two of you?
It was great because he was on all the phone calls. So all the phone calls that she's constantly talking and doing, and which are very hard. They're very hard to perform a phone call. Weirdly, it's sort of like this tricky thing that you don't realize until you're doing it and you're going, it's another scene you're performing, and without the other actor on the other end, it's just going to be completely flat. So Mary was insistent that we have Christian, and it was great because he's also got such an iconic voice. So you're like,
Yeah.
who is that? Who is that? I grew up, he was a teen star when I was a teen. I mean, I loved him growing up. So it was very surreal, but I think added to this mysterious kind of, but also familiar quality of the voice of the husband.
Yeah. Now this year we had film, motherhood on film is not a new subject, but this
Mm,
year we had films like Die My Love and Hamnet that are also directed by women,
yeah.
and they all have very interesting and non-romanticized visions of motherhood. I
Yeah.
wanted to talk about this moment and how if I had like I kick you, uh, what it brings into the conversation because we also have a lot of new interesting takes on motherhood on TV. You've done that.
Yes, I know. I've been so lucky to have done that with physical and with platonic, which are both very different, but examining the role of the mother in different ways. What I think is brilliant is that it's also different. Like something like Hamnet is obviously very different from the character in Legs, which is very different from Die My Love. And what a great thing to see. Like it's not just a monolith. We're not all the
Yeah.
same. And I feel it also speaks to the collective consciousness. I find that in a season of films, you're like, wow, oh, there's two Marilyn Monroe films, or there's two films about that other person, or Bob Dylan, or whoever it is. It seems like it's sort of this subconscious thing that happens where people are generating stories, and whether they know it or not, you're sort of on a bit of a wavelength, and it's creative. I'm honored to be part of that kind of triptych that's happening.